Calling all units, calling all units. Donut Shop has a fresh dozen. Go ahead and take a 1040.
He was a police officer up until just a month ago.
A month ago, yeah.
So you came to Reykjavik, this area here,
In
metropolitan.
Yeah, in 2001, I entered the police academy.
Okay.
It was in 2001. It was in January, and in December, same year we graduated. So what they did, they kind of cut off. We had it was 2 semesters, and then the summer, which we worked, but how would you say, like
phases? So
Yeah,
you described it as 11 months long, but
Yeah.
there's a portion in the middle of it where you're just back to work.
Yeah, we're just working as cadets. Prior to that year, that used to be 1 year. So the school would be 1 year while you were working in between the semesters, but they cut it down to 1 summer at that time. So the school was just 1 year. And
So from start date to graduation,
it was January until late December.
Late December.
Yeah.
But then in the middle, so you weren't in classes or learning or testing during the summer, mostly because it's high season for tourism.
Yeah.
So they just need the bodies. They need
we were just
the manpower.
Working.
To go back to work. So you had already had 3 years or so under your belt.
Yeah.
As working. Would you say everybody in that academy was the same, or were there green?
Majority had experience on their back.
So was this when they kind of decided to standardize things and sort of get everybody set, or had that academy already?
Well,
it was already going on.
Oh yeah. They changed the academy in '97, so they had 97, 98, and 99. They didn't have a class of 2000, so we came in 2001. And so they pretty much had entered, that
standard time.
Yeah.
And there's only one academy that goes on at a time. It's not like when I was in it. Granted, there was 40 people in my class, and then 3 weeks later they start the next class, and then they start, and so everybody's kind of, but it's multiple organizations, multiple agencies in one class. So.
They changed it a few years ago, so they moved it up to academic level. So you have to.
I saw that. I read online that it goes through the university.
Yeah, you have to university. Then you do the specialized police training with the police, academy or school, whatever you want to call it. So then you have different groups coming in and.
So is it the now that part of it is kind of university based? Are you just learning theory and kind of getting
police science?
So criminal justice degree, but in a shortened portion.
Yeah, they do more of the practical stuff at the police academy. They call it. I'm not going to even try to translate it.
Okay, but like the defensive tactics, the situations, the firearms.
Yeah.
So, any kind of qualifications. Do you learn karate, kung fu?
No, we use
jiu-jitsu now.
No. We use a system that was developed by the police in Norway. So it's just a thick booklet, and every tactic we use in succumbing a perpetrator or whatever. So it's a training we go through, because if I go to court and I have to describe the way I arrested the person, and I might be asked, why did you use this? And I said, because I was taught that in the academy.
Correct.
But I'm going to get into trouble if I used something, and my response is, and he, I'm asked, did you get that training in the police academy? And I would say, no. Then you're in trouble. So we kind of have to be able to tell them, we do use this because we had the training.
Okay, and so like if I went to Norway, it's very similar as far as the training and stuff. And just for those geographical challenged people, Norway is not far from here.
No, but of course, it's a system. It's a good system, but often you have to improvise because every situation doesn't necessarily have to fit.
Yeah.
This part of the training, so sometimes you have to improvise.
Yeah.
But of course you would have to be able to describe why you did that, and not because just because it
felt
just,
like punching him in the face.
He deserved it. No, but nobody wants to see a head choke or something. We don't do it, but if a situation would call up to it, and you had good reason to use that, it's not in your training, but something you know how to do, and if you could describe the situation to the judge, and it was serious, and people were in danger. And I just couldn't use a hand over something. I just had to react.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the only thing presented to me at the time was to be able to grab him by the neck or choke, or I know that where the head goes, the body's going to go, and it just there was limited to no options for me at the time, and off I went. What was it? I forget exactly what I was thinking of a question, but. So 700 people across the police force, and yes, we were talking with the university program, and being that it was sort of based around what Norway has, and so that's what you guys are learning, and so the summer kind of breaks up that academy time, and you finish all of that, and so you've done your studies now and learned the process of policing, the police science, as you said, and then you go in and you learn the tactics and sort of the rules, the playbook that police now, you can learn about policing, but then you have to learn how the job is done. Yeah. You do that. Do you go on a field training, or then now you kind of most of you had experience out there on your own learning it. But do you have to go and get it evaluated?
No. That's something that is done while you're in the training phase, like when we're doing the summer.
Oh, during the summer, you said you.
So that you're kind of under evaluation there. So if you mess up, that's the time to fix that. Mm-hmm. But basically, after and when you get the graduation, after that, evaluation over. And
do you weed out, or do you have attrition in the academy? Is there a lot of people that fall off?
It depends. It's usually people fall off the train during when you're doing the testing to get into the academy, the physical and some knowledge studies and that sort of stuff.
So they do a pretty good job pre-academy.
Yeah. So you might do the run, because you have to run 2 or 3 kilometers. It was 3 when I did it. Then right after that, you have to do a swim test. Mm-hmm. It was 600 meters at my time. I think it's 200 meters now or something.
In the cold water.
No, it's just in a pool. But I know some people, they've been focused on the running, and they just, no problem, I can swim. Mm-hmm. Then you go, and you have to swim.
Yeah.
And some fail there because they didn't prepare for the swimming part.
Wow.
Or they fail, the running part, or they fail
the spelling.
So there are, kind of these parts that,
So it's a strong application process.
Yeah. But then you get into the academy, and when I was in the academy, if you failed 2 tests, then you were out.
Okay.
You were allowed to fail at least one test or 2. Can remember.
Yeah.
And you got it was just one, and then you had the chance to
make up.
Yeah. And if you failed that one, then you're
Goodbye.
out. Or you could come back. It depends. if you were into the second semester, or let's call it third semester. So it was the first semester, then the second, which was the summer, then the third. Let's say you failed, report on the third semester, then you would not be able to graduate, but you could come in a year in the next class or
Oh, okay.
So if I failed at 2001, I would be able to graduate with 2002 class.
Oh, okay. So somebody can come in semester 3. If you've made it through 1 and 2, you come back for 3 and have another go at it.
Yeah.
About how many are in the academy classes?
Now, if we go back to my time, I think we were about 40.
40 in that one.
Yeah, that was pretty much at that time. But like I said, now they have they are in all kind of different phases of training.
Okay. So it's a little more like how I was describing. So like you might have a class, a small class, and then you've got another small class, and they're just bouncing them around, churning them out. Okay. So, but it's not a massive amount. I mean, with 700 total, you're not pushing out 100-person classes.
No.
You know, but you have people coming of age, retiring, leaving, or injuries. There's many different reasons to leave police work through that. So you moved. So that's the academy. Awesome explanation of the academy and stuff. Thank you. Hey, what's up, guys? If you like that clip, go over and check out the full episode at Donut Shop Podcasts. Link is down below in the description.